From China to Miami, these airports get more foot traffic than any other type of travel hub. Airports are the busiest places in the world, so in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the top 15 busiest airports in the world. Number 15. Shenzhen Boan International Airport. Serving Shenzhen, Guangdong Province, the Shenzhen Boan International Airport is one of the largest in the world. It's located on the east bank of the Pearl River, and it's just 20 miles northwest of the city center, and is the hub for Shenzhen Airlines, Shenzhen Donghai Airlines, and the cargo carrier SF Airlines, as well as the focus city for China Southern Airlines and Hainan Airlines. So, needless to say, this airport's getting a ton of foot traffic year over year and saw nearly 50 million passengers in 2018 alone. And as travelers begin to take to the skies again, that number is only going to grow. The airport opened back at the end of 1991 and occupies an area of about 2,700 acres, with its first runway being 3,400 meters long and 45 meters wide, and it has 53 parking spaces on its apron. Because when you have this many travelers, you need to be big. And not only is this one of the busiest airports in the world, but it's the 5th busiest in mainland China in terms of cargo traffic as well. The airport also has stellar passenger facilities to keep people moving along and is divided into 3 parts: the main terminal building and 2 large corridors, each 1,000 meters long and 650 meters wide, and forming a cross shape. And for the 50 million passengers coming and going, this airport has a whopping 62 boarding gates and has the ability to accommodate literally any type of plane in the world. Number 14. Istanbul Airport. The main international airport servicing Istanbul, Turkey, the Istanbul Airport, is located in the Arnavutköy district of the European side of the city. The airport is incredibly young, having just opened in 2018 and taking on the passenger flights from the former Ataturk Airport. This international airport has already served more than 37 million people in 2021, making it the busiest airport in all of Europe. It's got 1 terminal service for both domestic and international flights, and 5 runways, 3 main and 2 backups, all of which are well over 10,000 feet long. The opening ceremony for this Istanbul airport was scheduled to coincide with the 95th anniversary of the proclamation of the Turkish Republic, with the first flight being Turkish Airlines Flight TK2124 to the Turkish capital of Ankara. Less than 1 week later, 5 daily flights began to arrive and depart, all domestic, and in just 1 month's time, the international airport became fully operational for nearly 100 passenger airliners and another 16 cargo carriers. Number 13. Indira Gandhi International Airport. The Indira Gandhi International Airport is the primary international airport serving Delhi, situated in Palam. The airport's pretty massive, covering 5,100 acres of space, about 10 miles from the city center. Although it opened in 1962, the Indira Gandhi International Airport became the busiest airport in the country in terms of passenger traffic in 2009, and overtook the Mumbai Airport in 2015 in terms of cargo traffic. Not only is it one of the busiest travel hubs in the world, but it's the 2nd busiest airport in the world in terms of seating capacity, with over 3.5 million seats. In 2021, the Indira Gandhi International Airport handled 37 million passengers, making it the busiest airport in all of Asia. In 2010, this international airport was called the 4th best airport in the world, as well as one of the most improved since its conception. And it certainly has an interesting history as well, having been operated by the Indian Air Force before management was transferred to the Airport Authority of India, only to be passed on again to Delhi International Airport Limited in 2006. As part of its 37 million passenger journey, the Indira Gandhi International Airport was given a new 14,500-foot runway in 2008, as well as the new and improved Terminal 3 building with a 34 million passenger capacity. And to keep things moving smoothly 24/7, the airport employs its advanced system, the Airport Collaborative Decision-Making, to keep takeoffs and landings timely, predictable, and most importantly, on schedule. Number 12. Miami International Airport. Miami International Airport is quite literally one of the hottest airports in the United States. Also known as MIA, it's the primary airport serving the Miami area with just over 1,000 flights a day to 167 domestic and international destinations, including most Latin American countries. Just 8 miles from the party area of downtown Miami, MIA sits on 1,300 acres of space, and it's the busiest airport in Florida in terms of total aircraft operations and total cargo traffic, and is the second busiest by total passenger traffic, just nipping at the heels of Orlando International. Miami International just so happens to be the third largest hub for American Airlines and serves as its primary gateway both to Latin America and to the Caribbean. It opened nearly 100 years ago in 1928 and has come an incredibly long way since then, now seeing about 37.3 million passengers a year and over 387,000 aircraft operations and 2.8 million tons of cargo coming in and out. MIA contains 3 terminals, the North, Central, and South, and 6 concourses for a grand total of 131 gates. There's a lot going on here, but the work isn't just done yet because the airport's projected to process 77 million passengers and 4 million tons of freight a year by 2040. It's a pretty tall order, though, and the Miami Board of County Commissioners approved a $5 billion plan to take place over the next 15 years. Number 11. Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. Phoenix Sky Harbor International, or just PHX, is a civil military public airport about 3 miles away from downtown Phoenix in Arizona. Not only is it the largest and busiest airport in Arizona, but it's one of the largest in the entire United States. In 2021 alone, PHX saw 38.8 million passengers come through its doors, making it the 8th busiest in the country and the 11th busiest in the world. PHX serves as the hub for American Airlines and base for Southwest Airlines, and in 2021 Southwest carries 35% of all PHX's passengers, making it the airport's largest carrier and surpassing American Airlines for the first time. PHX certainly has gotten a lot of accolades, and it's had a lot of time to earn them, having first opened in 1928. But not just as a major U.S. hub for world travelers, PHX is also home to the 161st Air Refueling Wing, which is a unit of the Arizona National Guard. The airport also answers to the governor of Arizona, performing both a stateside and overseas role for the United States Air Force, and supports air mobility and refueling missions all around the world. PHX is undoubtedly one of the most important airports in the country, and between the years 1951 and 2021, it's already seen over 1.3 billion passengers and 28.6 million aircraft movements. Number 10. Harry Reid International Airport. This airport has the code LAS. Harry Reid International Airport can be found in Paradise, Nevada, and serves as the main government airport for public use in the Las Vegas Valet, just 5 miles away from the Strip. This airport in Sin City covers about 2,800 acres of land and has been open to airline flights since 1948. It has since expanded and employed many of the latest and greatest technologies, another 4 runways and 2 passenger terminals. LAS is the busiest airport in the United States that doesn't operate as a hub for any of the 5 U.S. legacy carriers. When it first opened, LAS served just over 35,000 passengers, but fast forward to 2021, and 39.7 million passengers passed through the doors across 486,000 aircraft, as well as 240 million pounds of cargo. Number 9. Chengdu Xianglu International Airport. This international airport is just one of 2 international airports serving Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan Province. Just 10 miles outside the major downtown Chengdu area, Chengdu Xianglu International Airport is one of the most important aviation hubs in all of Western China. That's because it's the main hub and HQ for Sichuan Airlines and their own Chengdu Airlines, as well as China Eastern and Southern Airlines, Lucky Air, and the list keeps going. It's the 4th busiest airport in mainland China, the busiest in the western region, and by 2019 was amongst the 25 busiest airports in the world. So just how many passengers had passed through that year? A whopping 55.9 million passengers across 300,000 aircraft saw 629,000 tons of cargo come through as well. This international airport is 84 years old now, and so the beginning of a large-scale expansion that began in 1994 and ended in 2001. The airport extended its runway to 11,800 feet long with a Class 4E rating, which finally allowed for larger jumbo jets to come through, including the famous Boeing 747-400. The new and improved runway was built with 3 parallel porch design that can accommodate 3,500 passengers an hour. Today, Chengdu Xianglu International Airport flies more than 50 international destinations and over 170 domestic airports. Number 8. Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport. One of the younger airports on this list, Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport opened in 2004, and next to Shuanglu International, it's the most important airport in the southern Chinese province. One of the largest in the world by a long shot, this airport had 20.3 million passengers in its first year. That number more than doubled by 2010, and in 2019 there were 73 million passengers. And in 2021, when the world shut down and so much travel came to a grinding halt, Guangzhou Baiyun International Airport was the busiest in the world at the time, and saw 362,000 aircraft movements and well over 2 million tons of cargo pass through, despite severe supply chain issues. This is the 8th busiest airport by passenger traffic, the busiest outside of the United States, and the busiest in China in terms of passenger traffic. China's second busiest in terms of cargo and the second busiest worldwide when it comes to aircraft movements. It is a pretty stellar travel hub, with 3 runways all between 11,800 and 12,500 feet long. It also has 173 passenger aircraft bays and serves 100 airports, both domestic and international. Number 7. Orlando International Airport. Also known as MCO, Orlando International Airport is one of the largest airports in the United States, and it's located just 6 miles southeast of downtown Orlando. It became the busiest airport in Florida when it handled 50.6 million passengers, which also made it the 10th busiest airport in the United States. But the history of this airport is an interesting one, earning its MCO code from the airport's former name, McCoy Air Force Base, which was a strategic command installation that closed in 1975 as part of the general military drawdown after the end of the Vietnam War. Now, MCO is usually the first place people pass through on their way to and from Disney World. It sees about 850 flights a day across 44 airlines and serves as the hub for Silver Airways, and it's an operating base for JetBlue, Southwest Airlines, and Spirit Airlines, and is the focus city for Frontier Airlines. MCO is so large that it's even home to the maintenance base for United Airlines. The entire travel hub sits on a whopping 12,600 acres of land, making it one of the largest commercial airports in terms of land area in the United States, and serves 135 domestic and international destinations. Number 6. Charlotte Douglas International Airport. The code CLT belongs to Charlotte Douglas International Airport in Charlotte, North Carolina. Situated just 6 miles outside of the bustling Central Business District, the CLT is a primary air hub for both commercial and military use in the state's capital and covers 5,500 acres of land. CLT was first established in 1935, and after plenty of renovations, expansions, and even name changes, it became the 11th busiest airport in the world in 2019 when it comes to passenger traffic, having seen over 50 million travelers land and take off here. And by 2021, it became the 6th busiest in the country. CLT has 4 runways and 1 passenger terminal with 115 gates across 5 concourses, the most for any American airport. And because it serves military use, it's also home to the Charlotte National Guard Base and its host unit, the 145th Airlift Wing of the state's Air National Guard. People who pass through here fly all around the world, but the most popular domestic destinations are Orlando, Florida, and Dallas, Texas. And when it comes to international flights, it's all about Cancun, Mexico, and Montego Bay, Jamaica. Number 5. Los Angeles International Airport. If you've ever flown to sunny California, then there's a good chance that you flew into Los Angeles International Airport. Better known as LAX, it's the primary international airport to serve Los Angeles and the surrounding metropolitan area. Located in Westchester, it's 18 miles away from the bustling downtown area. With 4 parallel runways, LAX sits on 3,500 acres of land, and in 2019 serviced an astounding 88 million passengers, making it the 3rd busiest airport in the United States that year. On top of that, LAX is one of the largest international gateways into the entire country and, perhaps more importantly, serves as a popular connection point for passengers traveling internationally to the likes of East and Southeast Asia, Central America, Mexico, and Australia. So even if you're not coming to California, there's a good chance you're still making a connection here at LAX. It holds the record for being the world's busiest origin and destination airport because relative to other American airports, more travelers tend to either start or end their trips in LA. It's also the only airport to rank among the top 5 U.S. airports for passengers and cargo traffic, with about 21.5 million square feet of space reserved for cargo carriers. But despite its sheer size, LAX is still to undergo an extensive $14 billion expansion and modernization plan, including improvements to terminals and runways to enhance the passenger experience, reduce overall crowding, and provide airport access to the latest class of larger passenger aircrafts, and bring LAX's total gates up from 146 to 182. Number 4. OHare International Airport. Commonly known as Chicago OHare, OHare International Airport is the main international airport located in the northwest side of Chicago, Illinois, just 17 miles outside of the busy and bustling Loop Business District. This is a big one, covering 7,200 acres of space, so you better believe that Chicago OHare gets a lot of foot traffic too. Owned and operated by the Chicago Department of Aviation, this Illinois airport has non-stop flights to a whopping 228 destinations in North and South America, the Caribbean, Europe, Africa, Asia, Oceania, and the Middle East, making this one of the largest travel hubs in the world. Chicago OHare serves as the worthy successor to the city's old Midway International Airport and began as an airfield serving a Douglas manufacturing plant for military transports during World War II. As the first major U.S. airport of the war, OHare's innovative design pioneered modern concepts like concourses, directing highway access to the terminal, underground refueling systems, and jet bridges, making this the granddaddy of modern airports as we know them. The airport really rose through the ranks during the jet age and became the world's busiest airport from 1963 to 1998. Nowadays, Chicago OHare is the 4th busiest airport in the world in passenger count, serving 54 million passengers in 2021 alone. The airport had 919,000 aircraft movements in 2019, which made for an average of 2,500 per day, the most of any airport in the world. Number 3. Denver International Airport. Known as DIA, Denver International Airport primarily serves the metropolitan city of Denver, as well as the Front Range urban corridor. Taking up an astounding 33,000 acres of land, Denver International is the largest airport in all of North America in terms of land area, and the second largest in the world behind King Fahd International. DIA's runway 16 right and 34 left are the longest public-use runways in North America and the 7th largest in the world, coming in at over 3 miles long. The airport is relatively young, having just opened in 1995, and currently offers a non-stop service to 215 destinations across 35 different airlines throughout North and Latin America, Europe, and Asia. In fact, DIA is the 4th airport in the country to provide travelers with more than 200 destinations. It's a major hub for carriers like United and Frontier Airlines, and it's the largest base for Southwest Airlines in the world. Denver International is also incredibly important to the city at large, as it employs over 35,000 locals, making it the largest employer in Colorado. And in 2021, DIA became the 3rd busiest airport in both the world and the United States, serving nearly 59 million passengers that year. Number 2. Dallas-Fort Worth International. Perhaps better known as DWF Airport, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is the primary international airport for anyone flying in and out of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and North Texas region. It's the largest hub for American Airlines, with its headquarters near the airport itself, and in 2021 became the 2nd busiest airport in the world in passenger traffic and the 9th busiest gateway in the United States. DFW sits on 17,000 acres of space, making it not only the 2nd largest airport in the U.S. in terms of land area, but it's even bigger than the island of Manhattan. That's pretty crazy. The airport's so big that it even has its own zip code, 75261, a U.S. Postal Service city designation, and its own police, fire department, and emergency medical services on site. As of summer 2022, DFW has service to 260 destinations from 28 scheduled airlines, and is part of the small group of airports around the globe to offer this service. DFW is the 2nd busiest airport in the world, with 62.5 million passengers passing through the gates in 2021. Number 1. Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, or just ATL, is the primary international airport serving Atlanta, Georgia in the United States. but millions of international travelers have found themselves within its walls since it opened in 1926. Part of what makes ATL so busy is its central location, just a 10-minute drive south of downtown Atlanta. The airport covers 4,700 acres of land and has 5 parallel runways. And if you haven't already guessed it, it is the busiest airport by passenger traffic in the world, having held on to that title since 1998. ATL is the primary hub of Delta Airlines and offers more than 1,000 flights a day to 225 domestic and international destinations, and ATL is considered the first mega hub in the United States. Not only is this airport home to Delta Airlines headquarters, but ATL is also home to the company's Technical Operations Center, which offers maintenance, repair, and overhaul for the carrier. But Delta aside, ATL is also the focus city for low-cost carriers like Frontier and Southwest Airlines. With a grand total of 195 gates, ATL provides service all over the world, with a majority of international flights going to Cancun, Mexico, Paris, France, and Amsterdam in the Netherlands. In 2021 alone, ATL saw 75.5 million passengers, over 707,000 aircraft movements, and nearly 700,000 tons of cargo. And while those numbers are pretty amazing, that's not even an all-time high. That happened in 2019, when 110 million people passed through the gates of ATL and over 900,000 aircraft movements. Thank you to our channel members.